Good afternoon, this is Gerald again. I sure hope you can hear me. Anyway, this is the second installment on my videos. To tell you a little bit more about myself. I've got two great kids, Shelby and Joseph. Joseph's about to turn 17, and he's in some trouble, and he just needs a lot of prayer. And Shelby, she's 18 and a half, about to graduate, and I'm very proud of her. I love my son, I love Shelby, I love both of them very much, more than they know, more than I probably let on. I wish I could do more for them. Would love to be able to do more for them. Been married, single for the last 8 years. I learned a lot throughout, a lot about marriage and relationships, and not having what to look for, what not to look for, how to run. That's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother video we can get into about relationships and things like that. And right now I want to kind of get into something that came up last night. A girl on Facebook, she sent me a message that I found interesting. And I've seen it on Facebook a couple of places. And I even think Snoops has got it as being not completely true. And y'all probably seen it, and I want to talk a little bit about it, hopefully. It's about a microchip implant coming March 23rd, 2013. She asked me, see, I'm looking for the message right now. She said, "Do you believe this?" And I think my reply was along the lines, I do believe in the technology, yes. Or do I believe in the technology? Yes. Can they plant it in a human? Yes. Are they? Not yet, but they will. I don't know if this is going to happen the 23rd of March. I don't know. I know the technology is around. I had a dog. He passed away about a year ago. His name was Lucky. Loved him. He was a great dog. But he actually had a microchip planted inside of him that kept up with all his information. I could take him to the vet, and basically, they'd be able to scan the device, and they know exactly what's going on with him, where he's been, what vets he's seen, what shots he's had, when was his last vet visit. If he got lost, they picked him up. They'd find him, be able to scan him, and call me up and let me know they got my dog. It's there. The technology's out there. Whether or not it's coming to 23rd, I don't know. But I do know what the Revelation says. The book of Revelations talks about the mark of the beast. In chapter 13, we see the rise of the beast, the rise of the Antichrist, and we see that it was wounded, and the whole world was forced to worship the beast. Everybody that believed that wasn't signed with God's mark, which are the those that are left behind, because honestly I believe the rapture will happen before the beast comes into power. And that's a whole nother story. But in Revelation 13, verse 16, it says that, first let me back up 15. The beast come in, that anyone refusing worship must die. Then he required everyone, small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to be given a mark on the right hand or on the forehead. And no one should buy or sell anything without that mark, which was either the name of the beast or the number representing his name. Wisdom is needed here. Let the one with understanding solve the meaning of the number of the beast. For it is the number of a man. The number is 666. Now, I believe that in the end, I believe right now we're in a place where we've never seen a time where a one world government has been talked about more than now. And when you read Revelations, and if you don't believe me, fine, you can check it out for yourself. You can look up, you got George Soros, you got all these other deals that are on They're talking about a one world government. George Soros is pushing for a one world government, and he's using people like Barack Obama and different ones throughout the whole world to implement this one world government, especially through the UN. They got this thing called Agenda 21 that is really that one world government and one world agenda to try to make us all one people. And it's nothing more than just a fulfillment of the book of Revelations, where we're going to see this man who's going to rise up during the middle of this great chaos that's going to be happening when God begins to pour out His judgments upon the earth, and we're going to see this one guy show up, and he's going to deceive the nations. He's going to be so flamboyant. That's why a lot of people thought it was Obama, and I think he is a lot like because he's very charismatic. He's very influential. When he speaks, you either don't believe him or you're sold. You're sold whatever. He could sell you a piece of crap used car and you'd buy it in a heartbeat because he's just that fork-tongued. He's just got that bravado, that ability to influence a person to get them to believe whatever he wants them to believe. And you either believe it or you don't. But the beast is going to rise, the Antichrist is going to rise up, and the beast is going to rise, and it's going to force everybody to take this mark. And the technology she was looking at, talking about, that's it. It's the ability to be able to track you. It's the ability, we could go paperless with that type of technology, where they can scan that, they can put it in your body, in your hand, your forehead, they can, whatever they're going to do, and they'll be able to keep up with every bit of information about you, whether it's your bank account, whether it's your medical history. I mean, to the point where you could put photos in it or something, keep up with your own personal information, track all your history and everything. The technology's there, and there's never been a time like today where the technology is so available to do this, to be able to put something on a person where you can use it to buy and sell goods, and the government be able to keep up with you. So it's there. Whether it's going to happen the 23rd, I don't know. I mean, that's kind of a stretch. I think there's been some things about children in schools being kept up. And it sounds great on paper. See, that's the thing. When you look at this, and to be able to, you'll never have to wear a wallet again. You'll never have to worry about somebody stealing your wallet or taking any of your personal information without breaking. They'd have to be a computer genius to be able to break into wherever the information is stored at. But on the flip side, it's the government stepping in. They're the ones going to control this information. They're the ones going to determine who gets the mark and who doesn't. And if you accept it, you're sold. You're doomed. I'm sorry, but the Bible's very clear. Anybody that accepts the mark of the beast is going to be condemned. They're going to already be so brainwashed it ain't going to matter anyway. They're going to think the beast and the Antichrist are God anyway. But if you don't accept it, it ain't going to be no in prison. It ain't going to be internment camps. It's going to be, they're going to take your head. And you're either going to, at that time, you're either going to not take it because Jesus is your Lord and Savior, or you're not going to take it because you don't believe in the government. You're pretty much a conspiracy theory, kind of like me. But either way, they're going to take your head. They're going to kill you. You're going to die. They will put you to death right there on the spot. So be prepared for that. But there is a way out. And that's right now, before this happens. If you give your life to Christ, if you turn your life over to Him, ask forgiveness for being selfish, because sin is nothing more than being selfish and self-centered. And put Him first in your life. And make Him Lord and Savior of your life, and live a life for Him. You will escape this. Accept the forgiveness that He has at the cross for you, and live that life for Him. And I believe if you do that right now, and you find a good Bible-believing church and that loves the Lord and loves people, and be a church, that you'll escape this, that you won't have to go through you won't even have to go through any of the judgments that are going to be poured out upon the people. Receive Jesus as your Lord and Savior today. Believe in Him, trust in Him. You won't even have to face this. You won't even have to worry about the mark of the beast. You won't even have to worry about Antichrist. And you won't even make it that point. But even if you do, you'll have the Spirit of God on you and be able to see this happening before it ever does. So I urge you today, more because you don't want to face Satan. You don't want to face the judgment to come. You don't want to just be standing before God in the end. And because unfortunately we bring, like I said in the last video, we judge ourselves. It's our actions that bring judgment upon us. And in the end, when we're standing before God, it's going to be our own actions that are going to hold us accountable. And He's going to judge us for what we've done. And if we don't live for Him and we don't serve Him, we deserve whatever punishment we get. So I urge you, I beg you, I plead with you, don't let it go to that point. Receive Jesus as your Lord and Savior today, and confess with your heart, confess with your mouth, and believe in your heart that He is your Lord and Savior, and serve Him and only Him. And I pray you do that. I pray anybody who hears this thing will be touched in their heart and they'll receive, because make it real, because I've prayed the prayer with people before and they walked away and never did anything. There's got to be a change. I have the saying where there's always an inward representation of there's always an outward representation of inward change. When Jesus comes into your heart, you'll know it on the outside. There'll be no doubt. You won't want to do the things you did. And if you make up in your heart right now, God will change your heart. And you'll never have to face any of these judgments. You won't even have to worry about the mark of the beast. So, do it. There's no time like today. Nobody's promised tomorrow. And I'm asking you to do it. And I pray that you do it. And I'm believing that anybody who hears this will do it. And I thank you for just listening, to giving me a chance just to speak my mind. And there'll be more to come. And you have a blessed day. Thanks.